Papa Squat, coming at ya. Hey, today we're gonna do a song by the Notorious B.I.G., Biggie Smalls. So I am actually somewhat familiar with his music. He was super popular for a number of years. Surprisingly short period of time that he was alive and making music. I believe this Wikipedia page says he was active from 90. Where'd it go? Years active. I just was looking at it. 92, blah, blah, blah. 92 to 97. And he died when he was only 24 years old, which is just amazing. Real name Christopher George Latour Wallace. Born in 72, died in 97. I'm not going to go into a lot of his history and information about him because there's so much out there for him. He obviously really caught fire early on when he started making music and had stuff to say that people, I mean, it really appealed to them and it really was good and well-made music and well-written lyrics, and he's a good rapper, and I'm expecting this song to be good. I mean, that's flat out what it's going to be. I'm not sure if this is a song I've heard before. I listened to the first little bit and I didn't recognize it, so it wouldn't surprise me if this is perhaps one of his not hugely popular tracks that may have gotten some radio play that I would have actually heard. But who knows? I know I have heard a number of songs by him, and I like his stuff generally. I think he has a really cool style of speaking. And anyway, he is unfortunately a really good example of how your life changes a whole lot when you become famous and rich, and how your life does not really change all that much when you become famous and rich, because you still have to deal with all the crap that came before and where you come from and what you were doing and what you were into. And he happened to have a background that got him into a lot of trouble, and unfortunately it paid off in a negative way is what I mean. It came calling again. And there were feuds back and forth between other rappers, and he eventually ended up getting shot and killed. Really a shame, too, because the guy clearly had a lot to say and was very much, I think, a voice for that generation of African-American people from the streets. And where did he grow up? I'm not even 100% sure. He is from New York, yeah. So he had great stuff to say, and a lot of people it really appealed to, and I can understand why. So let's give him a listen. This is called Notorious Thugs. This video, if you look in the upper corner over here, is labeled Biggie Smalls. That's just another name for him. He also went by Notorious B.I.G. He had a couple of other different names. But let's give this a listen. This is Notorious Thugs from Notorious B.I.G., 6 minutes, 9 seconds. So you see me bouncing my head. That's because I'm trying to determine if this beat is actually as fast as it seems like, because it seems like this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, which is pretty fast, but it could be, I think it is that fast, because otherwise it would be 1 and 2 and 3 and it doesn't sound like it's supposed to be that slow. It's a pretty fast pace for a song. 1, 2, 3, 4. Huh. Maybe when he starts rapping? I do have the lyrics over here too. of a long intro, and I'm trying to get a sense of what the music is similar to, and it just I can't even think of what it's like. It's not bluesy. It's not. It's really an interesting little beginning to the song here.
Armed and dangerous, ain't too many can bang with us. Straight up, we no angel dust. Label us notorious. Thug ass niggas that love the bus. It's strange to us, y'all niggas be scrambling, gambling. Up restaurants with mandolins and violins. We just sitting here trying to win, trying not to sin. High off weed and oxygen. So much smoke, need oxygen. Steadily counting Benjamins. Nigga, you should too, if you knew what this game would do to you. Been in this shit since 92. Look at all the bullshit I've been through. So-called beef with you know who. Fuck a few female stars or two. Then I'm blue like niggas blue like my shit. Not to be fucked with. Motherfuckers better duck quick. Cause me and my dogs love the buck shit. Fuck the luck shit, strictly aim. No aspirations to take the game. Spit your game, talk your shit. Grab your gat, pull your clip. Squeeze your clip, hit the right one. Pass that weed, I got to like one. All them niggas, I got to fight one. All them hoes, I got to like one. Our situation is a tight one. What you gonna do? Fight or run? Seems to me that you take me. Rolling big, nigga, die slowly. I'ma tell you like a nigga told me. Cash rule everything around me. Shit, lyrically, niggas can't see me. Fuck it, buy the dope, cook the coke, cut it. Know the bitch before you call yourself loving it. Nigga with the best fucking it. Doesn't it seem hard to you? Big come through with mobs and crews. Just fellas down to the moose dog dude. Who's the killer? Me or you?
We forgive you for you know not what you do.
So his, I'm gonna back up a little bit so we come in just before she starts singing. Very much the first verse there is a lot about, and I don't even know if it's 100% true, obviously, but a lot about the lifestyle he wanted to represent of drugs and violence, and that sounds so stereotypical and stupid, but that is what he's rapping about. He's talking about, being a tough guy and being better than everybody else and having sex with all sorts of women. And it's obviously for people of that age group, even when I was that age, stuff that would have been fun or dangerous or kind of something out of the ordinary. And unfortunately, in this case, I think this was very ordinary for what his life was like. And again, this is based on the very little bit of information I have, and I know how he ended up dying. So I can only assume that what he's rapping about is stuff he actually went through and experienced, and he's talking about it both to kind of puff himself up and make himself look really cool, and he was a really cool guy, but also to let other people know, like, you're not alone. You're not the only one going through this stuff. I have to put up with this too, or I have gone through this stuff too. And I think that's another reason why it appealed to so many people. Oh, love it. Love this rapper. Wow, the way he is able to manipulate his voice and change things up, and his just a fantastic style. I really, really like it. It stands out so much more over the music than Biggie's stuff did earlier. Yeah, I love this guy's rapping. Nice. Also great. Oh, yeah. Fantastic rapping. Absolutely fantastic. Like, unbelievably cool. So this, even the beginning of this, it sounds like their voices are a little bit too far back in the mix. I wish it was a little clearer, and it sounds very different than the rest of the people who have been rapping so far in terms of like the quality of the sound, which I'm not a big fan of, but the style is still good. That's cool. So this is an interesting song because this is not a club song. This is definitely a sitting around listen to music song. I'm trying to think like where you would listen to this song, and I mean it really could be anywhere, right? But this is a song that's meant to just be listened to. At least that's what it seems like to me. You'd play it during a party, you'd play it when people are hanging out together, that sort of thing, and it would be a good background noise. But really, this song is to sit and just enjoy listening to, and I think it really hits the mark. It's really a cool sounding song. Yeah, good song. Very, very good song. I don't. This recommendation only came through in the last couple of days, and I think it had something to do with Bone Thugs and Harmony, or maybe it was just on that video that somebody had commented and said, "Oh, you got to listen to something by him," and this was the recommendation. Great song. Really a cool song. I'm not sure if we'll do a whole lot by Biggie Smalls, but I certainly wouldn't mind listening to more. And I am familiar with some of his music, so I don't want to respond to some of his more popular songs. But stuff like this that I certainly have never heard, and I don't have any clue if it ever got any sort of radio play. It certainly could have and should have, because it's a great song just to listen to. It has great energy, and it sounds good, and the rapping, some of the rapping is really fantastic. And yeah, great stuff. Thanks again for the recommendation, as always. Papa Squat, check it out. Please like, subscribe, and share. And I'll be back tomorrow with something else. I have no idea what it's going to be, but it's going to be something. A big surprise. Have a good night.